Hi guys, my name is Garrett. I'm originally from Canada and currently living in Dublin, Ireland right now. And I was doing some thinking a little while ago. I'm currently in the process of writing a book. I journal quite a bit. I read quite a bit. I'm into self-help. I've recovered drug addict. I've gone through the 12-step program. I spent a lot of time in self-development and just trying to figure out what life's all about, what makes people happy and stuff. And for the longest time I struggled with it. I really struggled. I didn't understand why I was doing some of the things I was doing. I would constantly be going out and drinking, using drugs, gambling, eating, just anything of the sort, like finding that vice that makes me escape from being with me. And after all the study and everything, I figured out that there's a lot of reasons why I did what I did, and a big part of it was not being comfortable with who I am. Not being comfortable with who I am prevents me from doing a lot. It stops me from being successful. It stops me from helping other people. It stops me from having relationships. It stops me from caring and just having those feelings and everything in general. So a little while ago, I was kind of at a standstill. What's my next step? What am I going to do next in my life? I've always prided myself on talking with people and having conversations and helping them through things, coaching them, and also getting that help back. Being there and asking questions and just having those open, honest relationships with people, which I never had before. So experiencing them was just something that it was unreal to me. And I'm hoping that there's some people out there that are struggling with that, and I'm able to maybe get through to them, maybe give them a piece of advice, or maybe they hear something that just sparks something in them that makes them want to become the next step of them. So I've decided to do some videos, and I'm gonna just pretty much say my knowledge, and hopefully click with somebody. Okay, I'm gonna start off with what I did in my book. I'm writing a book right now, and this book is a lot to do with what I just described myself as. Let me first start with my experiences, actually. When I used to work, I've worked in restaurants for a little over 10 years now, and for those of you who've never worked in restaurants, it's kind of labeled a party atmosphere. There's a author by the name of Anthony Bourdain, and he has a book called Kitchen Confidential, and if you read it, he talks about the lifestyle, and there's partying afterwards, the bartenders and the kitchen staff, and trading food for drinks, and the environment I was in was a ton of good-looking girls at a restaurant serving. It was a trendy restaurant, and party became the life. And it was funny because when I first got there, there was sous chefs and chefs and stuff. It was the first time I walked into a place where I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. It was just experience, and you just saw these people and you looked up to them, and part of me really wanted that. Part of me wanted to get to where they were. Like I wasn't really happy where I was, and I just wanted to go. And I came in and I worked really hard, and in going through that, my struggle wasn't my work and my intelligence or my ability and everything. It was just my comfort level with myself, that ability to go socialize with good-looking girls, or management types, or anybody who I thought was better than me, and be able to socialize them without alcohol. That was a huge struggle for me. And once starting there, I was dating a girl at the time, and I think part of me was pretty selfish back then, and I never did cheat on her. Never had sex or anything like that with anybody else, but in my head, I think if the opportunity arose, I can't say I wouldn't have done it. I can't say I would have done it. I'm more than likely leaning to the side that I would have cheated. And looking back at that, it's hard to say, because I don't want to label myself with that, but it's who I was back then. And so I'm in this environment of like all these big people around me, and it was pretty scary when you first start and you don't really know anything. You kind of have that work ethic and that little bit of who you are, and you think that you can do it, but you get there and you're a little overwhelmed. And I went through that. And being a party atmosphere, trying to fit in, and sitting down and having drinks with people, all of a sudden I started to fit in. Sitting down having beers after work, or going to parties or whatnot, and just a normal guy working in a restaurant, moving up, and went through it. I went through it for a long time. That started in the year 2000. In the year 2000, I started doing that, and in that time, you meet people. You start moving up, and you start socializing with the boss people a bit more, and drugs, alcohol, that kind of stuff is just one big scene, and everybody's kind of grouped into the same scene when it all comes to that. When I'm drunk, or I'm doing rails, or I'm dropping ecstasy, whoever I'm doing it with is my friend at that time. And I'm not labeling people out there that do this, but I'm saying for my experience at that time, the people I was making friends with I was making friends with them because I was drunk, or because I was high, or because I was stoned, or whatever it was. I wasn't doing it because I was looking at them as a good person, me wanting to add value to my life and their life. So in going through that, I started getting results. I started making friends, and what I considered friends back then. And it eventually became to the point where every time I'm with the friends, it had to be alcohol, it had to be drugs, it had to be something fun. Like, I never went for coffee with somebody and just sat down and chatted and talked about their life and got to know them. It always was like, hey, when's the next party you want to come out? And I was never really a big bar guy or anything, but I liked lounges, and I liked quieter atmospheres where I felt safe but still had the ability to get fucked up. So in going through this, my path went pretty, I don't know what other word, but terrible. Using alcohol turned into using alcohol and coke, and I did ecstasy before I started there, and I might have done coke before I started there, but they were never really big factors in my life. Ecstasy was a really fun thing for me, way back in the day. And eventually, I don't know where the coke came in, but coke came into my life, and I was doing drinking and doing coke, and eventually they just went hand in hand, and I couldn't. I always wanted to never do coke. I never did coke sober, but I never wanted to do coke. I never ever wanted to do it afterwards. Once I started getting addicted to it, I started saying to myself, I don't want to do coke anymore. I just want to go out and drink. And anybody who's ever done coke out there knows that's a pretty difficult thing once you've kind of followed that path of doing drinking and then doing coke, because it balances each other out and lets the party keep going. So I was doing the path. I went drinking, and then I'd last a week, sometimes 2 weeks, and all of a sudden there I'm at my dealer's house, or he's delivering it to me, and we're staying up 24 hours, 36 hours, whatever it was, and doing the coke. And it was when I look back at it, there was a lot of times where it was actually fun. I don't want to glamorize it and say that it's the way to go and you guys got to go out there and try it and stuff, but there was definitely parts of it that I did enjoy, when I had those coke conversations. And again, those of you who've done coke understand what I'm talking about, where you just feel so at one, you feel so smart, you feel so connected and so real, like what you want to be in life. The coke gives that to you. The thing is, in reality, this isn't even close to what you want to be in life when you actually see other people. I've seen other people, friends and stuff, on coke, and you look at them and you're like, wow, was I like that? So again, I'm not trying to glamorize this, but that inner feeling, that inner peace that the drugs and alcohol gave me, were that balance that I was looking for. They were that mold, that inner thing. And I'm going through this for for several years. It was probably a good 6 years of progressively getting